Alright, settle down, you psychos. We're doing this. We're talking about Slayer. And let's be honest, Slayer is the most metal band that ever metaled. But let's also be real, some of the stuff Slayer did? It's downright hilarious. Asterisk, the album covers, guys. Are you okay? Alright, let's talk Slayer album covers. Slayer album art is like what happens when you give a 13-year-old metalhead unlimited access to Photoshop and a stack of death metal magazines. You got Rain in Blood, a Hell's Cape where everything is on fire, people are melting, and it looks like Hieronymus Bosch had a bad acid trip. Then there's Hell Awaits, which I can only assume was drawn by a guy who got fired from designing Dante's Inferno illustrations. And South of Heaven? That thing looks like someone lost a bet and had to design an album cover using only glue sticks and magazine clippings. Slayer album art is basically Where's Waldo for Demons. Every time you look at it, you find some new messed up detail that makes you question your life choices. Kerry King, the living action figure. Can we talk about Kerry King for a second? This dude looks like a G.I. Joe action figure that came to life but only for the purpose of playing the most evil riffs known to mankind. Kerry King walked into a tattoo shop one day and said yes. All of it. Put all of the tattoos on me. And then he put on a giant spiked bracelet and never took it off. Like, how do you even eat soup with those things on? Is there a Slayer roadie whose whole job is just to spoon-feed Kerry King because he can't lift his own damn arms? Slayer lyrics, the soundtrack to your funeral. You ever really read Slayer lyrics? Slayer's lyrics are so aggressively metal that if you say them out loud in church, you'll spontaneously burst into flames. Like, Metallica writes songs about war, insanity, and betrayal. Slayer? They write songs about literally setting the world on fire and summoning demons just for fun. Slayer lyrics are basically death metal Mad Libs. Just fill in the blanks, burning underscore, screaming rivers of dot. It's always blood, bodies, or Satan. Raining Blood metal's version of Kerry. Alright, let's talk about Raining Blood. If you've ever been to a Slayer show, you know exactly what's coming. The stage turns red. The lights start flashing. And suddenly the whole place looks like a crime scene at a haunted house. I swear, when that riff kicks in, grown men start crying tears of blood and people in the pit start levitating. But let's be real, this whole thing is just the movie Kerry but for metalheads. Instead of a prom queen covered in blood, it's just Kerry King headbanging under evil red lighting. I'm convinced that if you play Raining Blood in the mirror 3 times, Kerry King appears behind you and tells you to tune your guitar down a step. Tom Araya, the nicest guy in metal. WTF? You ever notice that Tom Araya looks like the scariest man alive, but then he talks and he's just, like, a nice uncle? Like, you expect him to sound like Satan gargling razor blades, but then he's like, hey guys. Thanks for coming to the show, we appreciate ya. Dude, you are the frontman of Slayer. Why are you acting like you just helped me fix a flat tire? Every other thrash singer sounds like they eat gravel for breakfast. Tom sounds like he should be hosting a cooking show for metalheads. Slayer fans, the real reason Slayer never stopped. Slayer fans are the most terrifying group of people I have ever met. You ever see a guy at a festival with a Slayer backatch? That dude has definitely punched a hole in a drywall for no reason. Slayer fans don't just like Slayer, they're willing to throw hands if you don't scream Slayer at least once a day. Slayer fans will literally chant Slayer in the middle of a Justin Bieber concert. Slayer fans could be at their grandma's funeral and still be like, yo, you know what she would have loved? A Slayer circle pit in the casket room. Slayer's breakup. Yeah, right, so Slayer retired. Ha! That's like saying Ozzy is done touring. Yeah, sure he is. Slayer will be back. You think Kerry King just stops being Slayer? That dude probably shreds riffs in his sleep. Tom Araya is probably mowing his lawn right now and thinking, man, kinda wanna scream about Satan one more time. Slayer breaking up is like Dave Mustaine shutting up about Metallica. It's never gonna happen. Look, I can joke about Slayer all day, but let's be honest, NO1 is more metal than Slayer. You can talk about the best bands of all time, but at the end of the day, one thing is always true. When the world finally ends, when civilization collapses, when demons rise from the ground and the skies rain blood, there will still be some maniac in a Slayer shirt screaming Slayer as the apocalypse kicks in. And you know what? That's exactly how it should be. Thank you and good night. All hail, Jeff. Miss you, buddy.